Sorry, my fifth call.
You want to see Patty snort stuff out her nose? I know how to make her.
Oh, guacamole's going to come out of her nose in a minute. Oh boy.
Yeah, that would be gross.
Is there a problem? Yep, that's Aunt Patty, the classy one.
Yeah. She's so suave and de boner.
Ew, that's gross.
Have you watched Kelsey Grammer's sketches?
Patty thought something nasty. I just know
I
she
did
did.
not. She did earlier. What was
I know.
I know that Paul said I could.
So you've been married 26 years and then...
I had one 24 years ago.
And when your kids are all married, it goes a whole nother way. So if you wanted to stop, just gain about 30 pounds, 40
I
You
did.
wanted to stop?
from her.
Yeah, just about.
So Mom believes her, right?
Yeah.
She called you, and it took a while to get to the phone, and you answered the phone. Hi, what are you doing? Oh, I was in the shower. Oh, where's Sharon? With me?
You're sharing what?
With me? Mom said, well, where's Sharon? Why didn't she get the phone? And Dan just goes, with me? It was before Natalie. She didn't take that very well.
Married, and she said, if that ever be,
Just
if it ever, she said, I don't want to know. Just lie to me.
answers the phone in the shower anyways.
That was so good. I was like,
It's really
I'm
good.
wanting to pick it up and look out.
There's some more in there. Remember, Lynn?
Oh, here's 3 more over here. I think you really loved them. And it's funny, it was like the one time I could relate to her as a child, 'cause I loved them when I was a kid. They were so exciting. So now I want to get her one of these giant ones and be like, here you go, have fun.
Not fair.
I'm not older yet, so I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
As long as I don't look in the mirror, I don't know.
Now, is it right Deborah is coming back here, right? Because we were going to pick her up tomorrow after
Well,
work.
it did a lot without her signing all the papers.
You could use our card. Go.
Oh, I know. And it just doesn't matter one way or the other. I was just
Yeah, we
thought
can
she would
wait because
enjoy.
he really needs to focus on his paper. It might even
Oh.
not like the
Finish
rest
it
of
out.
He's just skinny.
I'm not
Skinny
as
people
much
don't
as-
eat everything on their plate.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh,
You better love her now.
Yes, we do.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
skinny.
Yes, we do,
He's
Diane.
not.
you haven't seen my
That's
love
pretty darn
handles.
skinny to me.
You haven't seen my love
How to be
handles.
fat like him?
Oh, Jim.
Oh wow, that's just awful.
you
I just don't know.
I think, ugh, really.
That's just too much.
It's enough to make her sick.
Not what I'm
Well,
hearing.
don't turn 40,
Well,
hon.
guess what? You never get what you married
Well,
at
if
all.
I stay skinny, he should stay skinny.
You know,
Could you have me
like
that
you're
shuffle?
pregnant.
Should have stayed upstairs.
Yeah, like you didn't need a good chuckle. Oh, we've been sitting down here cracking one another up, being mean to each other and stuff.
Being mean to each other.
Yeah.
It's been nice. Usually it's just me thrashing on Rob. I've never had it come the other way around.
Ever had what?
I've never had it come the other way around. It's usually just me thrashing on Rob and him going
He's a gentleman.
without comebacks.
And again, our most endearing story about one of our siblings. It could be different. Okay, I'm
Like she didn't have an agenda with that one.
I'm like,
totally
endearing.
thought it
Do
through.
we have any endearing stories?
What?
Endearing. Do we have any?
Stories.
Make
I got
one
a
up.
story, endearing story on
Hurry up, because I
Like
gotta
when
get
Paul
home.
put you in a headlock.
I got one on each of you, an endearing story. One of my most endearing stories about Paul is that when he was 5, he was a big boy. When he was 5, I was 10, 11. And we were riding around on my bicycle, and I had him on the back of my seat. I had the banana bike thing, And we were in the neighborhood, and there was a bunch of kids around, and things were going on or something, and they either fell off my bike, or, you know, I tipped my bike to the side and he came off or something. But anyway, he was acting like a 5-year-old, and he started crying about something. And I stopped, and I was tending to him, and I'm like, whatever it was. And some kid rode by on his bike, and he goes, wow, what a big baby. And I went, he's 5 years old. And the guy's like, oh. And I put him back on my bike and took him home.
Yeah.
This made me so mad. Like,
Poor
Whatever. I can't think of any.
and then one of my fun stories about Dan is I like stories.
Go ahead, whether they're true or not. Yeah.
They just said I can't think of any, so I jumped in.
Go
I
for
don't
it.
want to lull.
You go, dude.
Anyway, one Halloween, when I told Patty this the other night, I finally got old enough to go trick-or-treating without Mom. I was 6 or 7, it was Halloween. And Mom said I could go as long as I went with Dan, and you were like okay with that and everything. Well, that was the year that Mom bought me my princess costume. And it was the blue the store kind that goes over your clothes, and it's this printed princess dress with the horrible mask that has blonde hair on it and everything. And Dan was just like horrified. I can't go trick-or-treating with her like that. And Mom's like, you're going to go trick-or-treating with her, and you're going to take her, and you know, all the mom stuff. So he and his friend, I don't remember which one, I don't know if it's Gary or who it was. Anyway, they dressed up like pirates, and they each got a rope, and they tied my arms with the rope, and then they just drug me around. And I was your prisoner. And that was how you could go. You could justify trick-or-treating with me if I was tied to you as a prisoner. And I was happy as everything. I got the biggest haul of Halloween candy I ever had.
That's
It was
funny.
fun. That's it.
How'd you eat it though if your hands were tied?
She didn't until she got home.
We don't eat
He
it
asked
on
how
the
you
way.
ate
Oh.
candy. If you're
Oh,
hungry.
they did let me go when I got home.
I can't remember.
I remember when we lived in the country, Paul built a fort that we weren't supposed to know where it was, and he would blindfold me and walk me to his fort. And it was very special because he was 16 and I was 10, and it was a big deal to go to his fort. And one day I was out riding my bike and I accidentally found his fort, and I never told him.
Oh no!
Because it would ruin the surprise, and I just let him blindfold me and take me to his fort after that. I didn't want to ruin his surprise. I could probably still take you there, even. I was mortified when I saw it. I'm like, oh!
What'd you do in your fort?
Oh, and he couldn't have done much. It was only like 3 feet by 3 feet, but 7 feet tall. So he could stand up. He stood.
It's not much, but it's my fort.
It was made out of twigs and mud.
Wow.
I remember one time making out with Susan Dewberry.
This is an endearing story.
That's all.
Well, that's all he remembered. He had to share something.
He didn't remember the movie, but he.
I remember making Patty laugh so hard she drooled for quite a while. All you have to do is go.
If I don't listen, I can't hear.
If I don't listen, then I can't hear. 4070.
I don't listen, I can't hear. Is that what it is, Diane? You're just not listening. So you don't hear
Yes.
it. Is that what it is, Diane?
A lot of truth to that, anyway. Okay, Paul, your story.
Going back to the grapevine incident,
Oh, what?
and my perspective on the story involves an innocent young man, me, a aspect of me that's carried over till this time,
Yeah.
and Diane
An aspect of her that's carried over.
dragging me
Spoiler of
unwillingly
youth.
down to the creek where the grapevine grew and smoking her smoking grapevine. I took a
I
stand
just took
against
notes
it.
and tattled.
I took a stand against it.
Standing against it.
Stood the high moral ground and told her it was wrong, it was immoral, unscriptural. her saying something like, "You cannot tell mom and dad." It was just, "You make me promise me you won't tell mom and dad." And of course, I couldn't make such a promise. She smoked anyway, and I feel bad for her, but I had to do what I had to do, and had to tell mom and dad.
The funny thing about it is, I got in trouble, but it was like this logic that as an adult I'm just going, because Daddy says, you could have really gotten hurt. That you smoked grapevine, but it could have been poison ivy you smoked, and then you'd have poison ivy in your lungs. And I'm all, at the time I was like, oh my goodness, I could have.
Try to scratch that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to have logic.
No.
Because I remember telling Dan when he locked himself in the bathroom. And I said, "Come out, Dan," and he didn't say anything. And I said, "Danny," I said, "Billy Dan Vaughn, if you do not open that door right this minute, I'm coming in there and spanking you hard." Click. I love it.
That's like
Well,
you
that
shut your
have
mouth and
logic.
eat things your eyes pulled on us.
He locked the door.
Watch your mouth was
He
one of my
unlocked the
favorites.
door.
He unlocked.
No,
Yeah.
watch your mouth. It's
14 to
time.
18.
You're a little. You're
Fine.
18 months old and you're in a little sundress, but
Not
Mom was
little
gone
anymore.
and I was watching her. I was watching her
Who?
and we were playing and she just stood up and took off walking and we ran along behind her going, let's walking. And she walked all the way back to Mom's bedroom, turned around, walked all the way back into the kitchen, and that was it.
Why walk when you can get carried?
Why did you want that clarified?
You were watching me and Paul. They were supposed to be babysitting us. And I painted his face with fingernail polish instead of lipstick to make him like a clown.
Pretty.
You know, red nose
I
and
had to
red
feel good
all
getting
around.
off.
You came in at one point and you looked in the bathroom and said, what are you guys doing? And I said, nothing. And you turned around and went back. Mom and Dad got home. It was the only time they ever left us alone. Mom and Dad got home because he was like 2 or 3. And he was just covered in fingernail polish. And that was another one of those logic. That fingernail polish could have closed up all his pores and he would have suffocated and died.
It wasn't the fingernail polish though that got him.
remover.
It was the remover.
And it just turned
And he
him
had
real blood red.
streaks on him from the remover.
I still suffer scars.
Anyway, Dad got in trouble because I painted Paul. I do remember that.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
You were just
You guys are
basically
making this
emotionally
stuff up.
absent. Mom going, Diane, Daddy and I have something we need to tell you. I'm engaged. I'm planning a wedding. We're pregnant. And I was standing there and I just sat down. Just like that. Not many 19-year-olds, of course you were 23, not many 19-year-olds get told, honey, we're
I
pregnant.
totally don't remember you telling me. When did you call me? What? I guess I was at college.
No, you
I
were
was
in
in
Italy.
college, so. No, I was in college. He came home from Italy when I was still in high school.
Oh.
So
You were at Love. Their father's going to pay for it. Daddies really have to pay a lot once your daughters grow up.
ooh, I don't want to hear that.
Heather, this is Lynn. Are you coming to the family reunion in July?
I hope so.
Do you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Turn her that way.
Hi, this is Lynn. It's Lynn! Your pregnant aunt! Are you coming to the family reunion in July? Okay, good. Didn't want to have to come beat you up. Okay. Oh yeah, me and Robin, your new cousin. Aiden. Huh? Oh yeah, I'm big.
Ah! For her first time in her life.
June 21st.
This is where she says, I'm June. June, February. As her dad drops the camera.
Hold press that upper right button and go off speakerphone and just hold it here. Yeah.
I don't want to talk anymore.
I am.
Oh, how do you talk?
Boy, now that reminds me.
Hi, Heather.
Lynn?
Yeah.
That's Lynn.
And that's also Amy.
That's how Jim is when Dawn calls. Jim's like,
It's been cold up here. This is Patty. I really hate talking on the phone.
and this too.
That's good. She's coming to family reunion. She's still live in Oklahoma? Oh, good.
But
I found
I
it.
don't remember looking. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
The doctor said it was very important to find it.
And then read that. It's nasty.
Stuff like that.
It was very unripe.
He's a goofball, so I keep him.
I remember Paul
No,
me against the wall calling me a poser and telling me I didn't know. His hand on my forehead so I couldn't get to him. He would say, "Take off, poser." And he'd say things like, "You don't know what you want." Little endearing things like that.
What?
Makes mother cringe.
That's
Okay, I bet you once.
I was in the same house.
Well, that's what I
know,
say
this
when
all
my
took
kids
place
tell stories.
outside.
Where were your parents?
This all took
How
place
did-
outside.
Did you do that?
Once the holding against the wall was in the living room. I think he was just seeing if he could. And everything else
Especially
was
the things
outside.
Ben tells that David and James did to him.
Oh,
I mean, they're not horrible, but they're enough to make you go, "Oh, I can't believe we were so stupid to leave those three boys together."
But then on the other hand, Paul took me with his friend, Shelly, Jeff. Who was the cool friend you had? Remember the boy that was cool?
Russ.
Russ. And we all went to Tubbs Hill. When you guys went swimming and I couldn't swim and you let me climb on your back and you jumped off Tubbs Hill and you took me to the cave under the water because I was too afraid
You
to
see,
swim.
this is what's
Now
not
that was
right about childhood. She was my little princess.
You don't remember that.
I know that much.
Oh, okay.
But you remember all the good things about Paul. You know, it's just not fair.
That's because I evidently like you.
oh, we've got pictures of her on your back.
3 years
and-
old.
Oh, I know.
and
I
carrying
just,
her
I
around.
carried
I
her all
remember
over the
taking
place.
you around on a bicycle. I had a 10-speed bike there in Broken Arrow. And I can't even believe this anymore because nowadays it would just be verboten. But you get up on my shoulders, on my back, your arms around my neck and your feet around my waist, and I'd ride my 10-speed. We went all over like that on the 10-speed.
I remember going with you. I don't know where it was. There was something at church, and there were a bunch of little kids, and you were there.
Yeah, I went as a teenage chaperone,
Chaperone
a
or
teenage
something. I
helper.
remember that.
We have a photograph of that one.
Natalie cannot believe we used to ride bikes without helmets.
Oh,
So that's nice.
It's like,
huh?
it's just like,
We did what?
Yeah.
We're all still alive.
Or and we didn't have. Oh, we were laughing about this in the car the other day. The mom seat belt.
oh, now
I
here's
still
one thing
do
I
that.
remember. I remember, was it Alan falling out of the back of the station wagon when we were
No, it was
riding?
Paul. It was Paul
Oh, it
fell
was
out
Paul.
the back of the station wagon,
And
he
Aunt
swore
Jan
that
was like,
she's such a freak.
And what did Mom do?
He fell
Mom
out
was
the back
pretty
of the
calm and
station
collected.
Oh,
wagon.
he's okay. No, he'll be okay.
Yeah,
And then he
Oh,
blamed
he's
Mother.
okay.
then he blamed
Mom
me.
pushed me out of the station wagon. He said that for years.
He said it for years.
Is that like
Mother
how
pushed
she
me.
sang
Remember that
I
time
Can
Mother
Remember
pushed me
Last
out of the...
Because she was saying, "Oh, he'll be okay. He's okay. He's fine." And she was in the front seat. She didn't even know. I was out there on. I was out there on the pavement.
Out
taken
and went
off.
to
Bleeding.
get you. You
My
weren't
skull was
bleeding.
crushed.
You had no.
We were just
Entrails.
taking off. Hadn't even
Entrails.
accelerated. The door
What I
wasn't
wanted
closed
to
and he fell
really
out.
say was,
Leaning out.
you have been told 100 times, don't
Not
lean
to lean
against
that
the door.
Well, why didn't you close it?
It wasn't the last one in.
But what I remember is Aunt Jan going ballistic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember
The little girl fell out of a car there on Mingo, and I come running in.
Sure, I remember straight.
The little girl wasn't hurt, but I ran in, and I thought she got ran over. And I ran in, because we were playing in the side
I'd
yard.
forgotten about that.
And I went running in, and I said, a little girl just got ran over by a car or something. And Bill, because it's when Bill was still at home, and I remember him tearing out, and he hurdled that fence, just one hand, just right up over it. And I was like, wow.
Superhero.
Yeah,
So
that
big.
was like so
Well,
impressive.
he was a whole 26, 27.
Yes, yeah.
And these,
Is he and I riding to the car wash on Saturday morning.
I have a lot of car wash memories driving to the car wash memories with Daddy. Driving home.
I mean, for a long time it was just him and me,
Yeah.
and that was really that's all I remember of just him and me time. Everything was always family, and Now there may have been other times, but what I remember is he and I riding to the car wash in the mornings with his coffee and cigarette, listening to easy listening music, which I hated, but that's what he wanted to listen to.
Yeah, Archie and me.
And just yeah, it's
I remember
because we
being
got up pretty
amazed 'cause-
early to go into the car wash.
That's what Patty was saying today. She's talking about the times that she rode with Dick to school in Colorado.
Yeah.
So it was like 33 miles or something one way. And she'd get up in the mornings and she said, she put on her makeup and stuff, and then they'd just ride. And she said maybe they'd say a few words, maybe they'd talk a little bit, maybe not. And then he'd go in
See,
and
I had
pick
the
her
same
up.
time after he went to Italy. Then I went to the car wash with him. And I remember one time he had it was like a game with me on the phone, but he would call home before he left the car wash. He said, "Okay, I'll be home in 23 minutes," and then I would look at my watch. And exactly 23 minutes he'd walk through the door. But it could be any random number,
And it would be perfectly
And it
timed.
was ice. And so he would, when I worked with him, he would call you and say, "Okay, I'm going to be home in, 42 minutes." And I'd look at my watch and I was just like, how do you do that? Now, of course, any number of things. He could have slowed down, he could have sped up, he could have, whatever.
But
to
no,
make
but
sure
he
did
did
it.
that when
But
he was
always-
when he was driving big rigs.
Yeah.
He would call and tell me when he was going to be home,
Mm-hmm.
and he would be. Well, when he drove for Aiken, and then I would go to meeting like at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and he'd tell me exactly when he was going to be there, and I'd pull up, and there he was
He'd be.
sitting. Yeah, yeah, he always had it. But
He took me on a date to see Six Pack because I liked Kenny Rogers.
yes, he did.
He what?
Took me on a date to see the movie Six Pack because I liked Kenny Rogers.
She liked Kenny Rogers.
Shut up. I remember when Lynn was born, she was born over Thanksgiving, and Dad took you and me and Paul to Kip's Big Boy. that was that was our
Thanksgiving
dinner.
And, and
yeah.
some spooky movie too, didn't he? Didn't he take you to see something
like
like?
Kip's Big Boy.
I don't
No,
remember
we went
where
roller skating or bowling.
Oh, did you?
Remember
Roller
when he
skating.
broke his arm roller skating? He was showing off roller skating. He broke his arm.
Your affirmity is bugging me.
Are we recording?
Yes,
Or are you recording?
go.
Well-
say something.
Go,
Right
say
on.
A
something.
hero story about Dad is when we were riding my dirt bike down somewhere in Oklahoma.
How do you make this thing zoom in?
You already
You don't
said that
want to.
one.
You don't want to.
But
Trust
watch him
me.
on camera.
And we're taking turns riding the bike back and forth across the area. And at some point, I'm telling it because I didn't record it earlier.
I
Anyway,
love you.
That's sure hard, honey. They do you just like they used to do
that's
you.
what I get for being the tape guy, the video guy. You
No,
know?
it's what you get for having trucks in the bed.
That's what you get for having the truck.
Is this finally the payback for that?
I think so. This is it. Yeah.
So
And it's-
why?
No, I paid you back for that at the time. I smacked you.
Riding
And we got some duct
motorcycles.
tape.
Remember one time when
At one point, I rode my motorcycle into some wasps, and they got agitated and stung the living snot out of me. I pushed my bike in the brushes and ran to Dad and told him, and he went into that nest of wasps while they're still stirred up, agitated, and went and got that bike. And any guy that would, he got stung like you know what, any guy that would do that is a hero.
Yay.
Thank you very much.
I remember one time, for no reason whatsoever, no provocation on my part at all, we were at Aunt Jan's and Paul was in the bathroom brushing his teeth and I just walked in. I'm just like, move! I just grabbed him and I shoved him out of the bathroom and I slammed the bathroom door and went to the bathroom. Well, of course he went and told Mother. And Mom's coming in, what did you do? Why did you do it? And I'm like, oh,
Don't
I
give the
still don't
time.
know why. There was no reason on earth for me to do that. I just had a surge of adrenaline and I shoved him out of the bathroom and slammed the door. I got in trouble.
You kids must have all got in trouble an awful
I got
lot.
cuts
Well-
and bruises from that.
Why you let your kids misbehave? Of course we get in trouble.
So when Dad and I were in the truck one time, we're going through Colorado Springs.
Hey, you got Aunt Vesta on your video. I'm sorry. Sorry, Paul.
And we're
I'd like to say Aunt Blanche, but
going were going through Colorado Springs one time, and we're going under a bridge, a railroad bridge, where the roadbed went down and back up under it. And we've been under this bridge a dozen times before in the same truck. And every time, the bridge always looked low to me, but I thought nothing of it because we'd done it before a few times. And one time, of course, the truck hit the bridge on the way back up on the outside of it, and the most horrible thunderous noise ever. It peeled back a lot of the sheet metal off the top of the trailer. Dad got up there and tied it down with some of the wiring. We kept on going, and somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Craigslist.
Can you keep the camera straight?
No.
Somewhere in the middle of Kansas, I'm watching you. I'm snoozing in the back of
Dan
the truck,
has a fixation.
and the most horrific, thunderous clapping noise I ever heard in my life. The sheet metal off the aluminum had blown up off the back of the trailer. It was now laying over to the right side of the road over some power lines. So Dad stops the truck. We get out and look at the situation. There's just the very back of the metal was attached to the trailer. The rest of it's laying over the power lines. I know you're zoomed in on like my nostril, Dan.
Better than other things.
I'm gonna have to you have to surrender. Can we get another? Rob, can you videotape? Rob.
Oh, he's probably up there working on his lesson.
Grossed out and sunk in her chair. We didn't do
All
it
my
again.
memories of Patty are things she did to my kids.
Yeah. I remember you coming home to take care of me after I had Patty.
Yeah.
Change the battery pack.